In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a carousel ad. Now first, we're going to click inside of our same prospecting campaign, just like we did last time. Now you can duplicate either your image ad set or your video ad set. It doesn't make a difference. You can also hit create to create a brand new ad set. I prefer to just continue duplicating. This is much faster because it keeps the ad set settings exactly the same. So we're going to hit duplicate on just our ad set. Now we're going to change this name to carousel ad. And we're going to call our ad on the left. Doesn't matter which one of these, we're going to call it exactly the same. Carousel ad 1. We're going to delete this other ad just because we don't need it. We're just going to create one carousel ad, delete. So now as you can see, this is still just an image ad. So as we scroll down right here, you see the formatting. When you look at format, it's set to single image or video. We simply want to switch this to carousel. But what I'm going to do first is, just in case it deletes it, I'm going to copy. I just hit Command C to copy the body text or the primary text. So we're going to change this to a carousel. And then I'm going to go down. It's kept the primary text, which is great. So now we are going to add cards. So what a carousel is essentially it's a bunch of different image or videos, and you can mix up images and videos together into one dynamic ad. It's not a dynamic ad, but in some ways it is, because it essentially just switches between them. I'll show you what it looks like. So add image cards. So we're just going to add, let's just say we're going to add 5 of these to start. So this is how it looks without any text on it, or without any headlines. See as you scroll to the right. And the cool thing is too is, in that last card, we'll just send them to your website, and you can choose that link as well. Facebook dynamically pulls in your logo for that. So the cool thing about this is you can either use the same URL as in the same website for each of these. So let's just say we're just going to call this Apple Watch bands. We're going to make this the headline, make it super simple. You usually can't fit a lot. Or let's do this. Let's say code take 50. And we'll say ending soon. Yeah, you can't fit a lot of text for the headline, so you could either do a longer headline or a shorter headline and then a small description. Either way, you want to make sure it looks really clean. If we look over to the right, I like how this looks. It's very simple. The nice thing is you can literally hit apply to all cards on the headline, and it just added that to every single card, and you could do the same thing for the description. And it's already added the homepage of our website to each of these cards. But the other cool thing you can do as well, so this is one option, is literally you can have just different images and you take them all to the same URL. Or if you really want to separate this, if you have a store that has a lot of different types of products, this is where this type of ad really comes in handy. And I want to mention too, you can add video cards as well. You would simply hit add video card, and you would choose the video, and it would add a second video here too. So you could see, we can just even add this, whoops, you'd even just add the second. So now if you look at the second image, it's actually our video ad. And you can see now that on the video, it's actually missing the headline in the description. So I want to go back up to one of our previous images and hit the apply all again, and then apply all, and then it will apply that same exact headline and same exact description to our video. So no matter which one of these images or videos that the user lands on or scrolls to, when they hit shop now, it will all go to the same URL with how this is currently set up. So the second way you can set this up is you could essentially use a carousel ad to break down the different types of products that you have. So say that we wanted to send people that see this first ad, if they click on it, we want to send them either to that direct product, or if you want to send them to a collection of all just, let's say, leather Apple Watch bands. Now we have a couple different approaches that we can do when it comes to carousel ads. We can either change the URL link to the exact product they see in that image, or you could essentially use each product image to represent a specific collection. Say if you have a shoe brand and you have different types of shoes, each link could essentially go to a different collection. One could be for high tops, one could be for low tops, one could be for slip-ons. Same thing here, like with ours, I could either take the headline for this first image and name it the name of this exact product, say if it's, the Dominic watch band or whatever it is, and we could have the URL underneath it go to that specific product page. Or if we have a bunch of leather watch bands and it makes more sense to send them to a page that has 15 or 20 different leather watch bands, then it would make more sense for us to call this leather watch bands. Or if we can't fit all of that, we could even just say leather. And then whatever the URL is that sends them to that page, you would put down here. So essentially they would see leather here. Let's get rid of this video just so it makes more sense for this example. And then on the next image, instead of the discount code, we would change this to silicone. And let's change the description too. So if it makes more sense, you could either put a price range in here, or we could even just say leather Apple watch bands. You want to really pay attention to how it looks over on the right. So that's one option. We could either have it all in the headline as a longer headline, or you could simply put that as the description if it will fit. And I actually like it better as the headline. So we're going to remove that. You can have a short description in there if you want, but I'm just going to keep it simple and keep it cleaner. So we're going to call this leather Apple watch bands. And then the next one down, we're going to call this silicone Apple watch bands. Then we're going to move the description. And then for this one, and remember, for this, you would actually change the URL to be to wherever that page was that took them to that collection. Silicone. And then for the next one, we would change this to nylon. So nylon Apple watch bands. We're going to remove the description. Remember, you would update the URL. Now you want to make sure you update the URL so it goes to the right page for them to see nylon Apple watch bands on your website. So let's just say if this was the URL, we take them to /nylon. This looks like it is, I think this one was vegan leather, so we're going to call this vegan leather Apple watch bands. And removing the description, updating the URL to the appropriate URL, vegan leather. And then we're going to the very bottom one, which is metal. And then we're going to change this to metal Apple watch bands. Remove the description, and then update the URL as well. Now we're going to hit publish. We're leaving the primary text exactly the way that it was. This is a whole different test in itself. You can duplicate this 5, 10 different times and try different tests with the same setup. That's the nice thing, is once you create a carousel ad, you can try it 10, 20, 30 different times and try different levels of awareness with it and different just ad angles altogether. So we're going to hit publish. You can always X out of this too while it's publishing. You can hit the refresh button if it ever says draft and it's not supposed to be a draft. You can see now it's processing. And then now that it's scheduled. So this is also scheduled to launch tomorrow now. That is how to create a carousel ad, and I will see you in the next video.